Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Subby over here at Baumgart's Weather Center, and I've got three great guests that we are going to be doing something that we're kind of excited about. That we are going to be doing here whenever we have a severe weather setup like we have coming in for Friday and Saturday. First off, I want to introduce Isaac Wilson. And if you want to raise your hand there, Isaac, and him and Levy Schrock are part of West Central Missouri Storm Chase team Nader Boys. And of course, you see their icon up there in the upper left hand corner. Next, I want to introduce Jeff Smith. And he is down there at the bottom left. He is representing Storm Chaser Jeff Smith. He is also a member of Torcon Weather Team, as well as I am. We are a nationwide full service weather team from coast to coast, and he is going to actually be out tomorrow afternoon. And a big welcome to Matt Jones, and he is with 417 Storm Chasers. Now, I know there's a lot of people down in the Springfield, Ozark Republic, Southwest Missouri, here in Subby's Weather Talk, and I want you guys to get familiar with 417 Storm Chasers because Matt's been around in the game for quite some time, and he focuses on Southwest Missouri, the southern half of Missouri. So I definitely encourage you guys to give a like and a follow to all these guys. I'm going to have the links there posted right underneath the comments of this post, and we will try to get this out here by probably 10 o'clock tonight. I will have all of the links ready for all three of these guys. And I know Jeff Smith, he is up in northeast Kansas. Now, he will be targeting an area a little bit different than what the rest of us will be kind of focusing on. Isaac, what are you thinking of the setup for tomorrow?
Well, it's going to be windy.
It's going to be windy.
So, yep, I'm looking at like two different sides. Like I was telling you earlier, I'm looking at the weather side of it, like the storms and things like that with it. But I'm also on the fire departments around here, so I'm kind of going back and forth on which one to help. There's a lot of a couple of small departments around that could use an extra hand. So it doesn't look too bad in West Central Missouri area tomorrow morning. I'll probably try to focus on helping them out, but still be available for anything. But it's going to be interesting. It'll depend timing. Timing is when
yeah,
you
it
start
is.
initiating. So.
It is, and before we jump on the storm side, let me show you guys something. I'm going to share my screen. This is from the Storm Prediction Center, but this is the fire weather outlook for tomorrow. Now, remember, we could be seeing gusts anywhere between 50 to 65 miles per hour here in West Central Missouri, Southwest Missouri, and also in eastern Kansas. So let's take a look at this here real quick, guys. So something I've never seen before, something that I do know that Isaac had mentioned he has never seen before, and that is a critical, they call that a critical fire hazard hatched area right here in West Central, Eastern Kansas, and Southwest Missouri. They highlighted the potential to see numerous fire burning. Nobody. Probably one of the highest fire dangers that I have seen ever when I'm looking at this, and I think Isaac can agree. He's associated with the fire department as well. They're really concerned about tomorrow. So, and I can't say I blame them. Can't say I blame them. So let's take a look. First off, of course, we have the Storm Prediction Center Day 2 outlook. All right, so I'm going to let you guys take a look at that. So they've expanded this afternoon. They've expanded a little bit further west now to incorporate far northeastern Kansas, all of West Central Missouri, And now Southwest Missouri is going to be more under the gun, under that slight risk to see some severe storms. And of course, more nocturnally, we could be seeing some very strong tornadoes associated with the line of storms out in eastern Kansas, western Illinois, and that where they are under a moderate risk to see some severe weather out in that area. So I do want to talk to Matt a little bit. Now, I haven't got a chance to talk to Matt a lot, but I'm interested to see, are you going to be out tomorrow in Southwest Missouri, and where are your target areas?
Yeah, I plan on being out some tomorrow. It'll really just depend on how everything forms because I don't like to chase at night. So if it gets to the point where it's looking like it's gonna line out, I'll probably just come back and do my live updates from the house. But it, my thought is more towards the far eastern side of the 417, like maybe towards West Plains. It'll just really depend on how the model data updates over the next couple of hours. If it's going to be late afternoon forming, I mean that's a possibility. But also, I don't like getting caught out in the dark personally right now. So
Yeah, and it's not
yeah,
it's not safe. It's not safe really to be out after dark, especially if you have to go by yourself. You cannot be watching radar and being out on a highway at the same time. It's dangerous enough if you have a team of four guys out there. Trying to chase after dark, but for a single guy, that's really tough. And I think Isaac feels the same way. We talked a little bit before this recording. He was talking about maybe Central Missouri, Southwest Missouri. Now, as they head east, they are likely going to intensify, but I think he's going to stay right in this area as well and kind of take a look and see, the biggest factor, where are these storms going to fire up at? You got the GFS, the North American model is showing these things firing up just east of west central Missouri, kind of from a line from just south of Chillicothe all the way down to just east of Springfield. And then you got the Euro, and the high resolution models are showing these things firing up just in eastern Kansas, right at the state line, and moving across. So it's where these things form, and the biggest thing because of the lack of moisture. The lack of moisture is the only thing that are keeping these thunderstorms from blowing up right here in our area. What we're going to take a look at two of the models here in just a moment. Jeff, let's come to you, buddy. Now, up there in northeast Kansas. Now, I think you have a little bit different target area. Tell us where you're going to be.
So, kind of at the start of the day, about the 18Z time frame, or roughly 1 o'clock Central Time, I'm actually going to be in southeast Nebraska, and actually going to be in the area of the Triple Point, where that cold front, warm front, dry line all meet, kind of at the start of this big event. And I'm going to try to track it down southeast Nebraska into northeast Kansas and see what happens at that state line. But that'll probably be the extent for my distance. I won't probably timeline because what I see is once it does kind of get into that moisture, these things are going to really take off and start moving quickly.
Yep. So, kind of put things in perspective here. Let me show you guys a couple of the models that will explain what Jeff is talking about. We're going to take a look here at, we're going to first take a look at the GFS model. That's the North American model. And I'll let you guys take a look at it there at home. Now, this is the latest run. And as we put things in perspective, tomorrow afternoon at about 4 o'clock, what Jeff is talking about, this low pressure system is going to have a triple point that's going to be up here. Triple point is basically where the dry line the cold front and the warm front kind of intersect each other. That's where you get kind of a smaller area of good lift and a potential to see some severe weather. And it's going to happen during the day where he's heading at. He's going to have daylight to be able to work with, unlike, if we're going to chase out, say, in the east of Matt's area, say Poplar Bluff, West Plains, Rolla area, it's going to be right at sunset. And then, of course, then we'll be moving off into the darkness hours. And one thing that I want to mention, too, that I've mentioned to a lot of people, they want to know how come we're not going to get any severe weather here in West Central Missouri, even though we do have that potential. And why is it going to blossom once it gets out into eastern Kansas? Number one is moisture. Okay, we're lacking moisture. We're getting Pacific and dry Missouri. Now, as it moves to the east, it's going to start picking up some of that Gulf of America moisture, and that some thunderstorms. But another thing we have to keep in mind too is that as we go into sunset, we'll have a low-level jet that is going to help aid in the rotation of those thunderstorms. And a low-level jet is made by once the sun goes down, the upper level of the atmosphere begins to cool, but it's still warm down here at the surface, and there's a difference of pressure there. And that difference of pressure creates a low-level jet, and that helps in the rotational shear of the thunderstorms. So it's really coming together. Because of that, it's going to be more of a linear style complex. So the biggest threat out there in central and eastern Missouri into Illinois is going to be the quasi-linear style tornadoes. These are going to be quick spin-up tornadoes along the leading edge of the line of storms. Now, as we go into Saturday, now that's going to change a little bit down in the southeast, and we're going to have more supercellular style thunderstorm down in the southeast. And I know I've seen several reports come out today. They're talking anywhere between 50, 75 up to 100 tornadoes are possible in the Dixie area on Saturday. So a huge tornado outbreak could happen on Saturday. So, and of course, let's take a look here. We were on the GFS. Let's jump over to the European. Now, same time frame, take a look at that. Now it's showing a few thunderstorms firing up right along the state line. Now, if any of these thunderstorms should happen to fire up, all the other ingredients are there. We have an abundance of wind shear. We have instability. We have a lifting mechanism. And so if these thunderstorms fire up, they're going to get nasty. I am going to jump over to a sounding. If you take a look up here in the upper right-hand corner, when you're looking at a hodograph, these storms are actually going to have a right-hand motion of over 65 miles per hour. So these things are going to be absolutely flying. So that's going to be hard to chase too if you're chasing this quasi-linear complex, trying to stay ahead of it. But yeah, guys, we're looking at definitely looking at a big setup for tomorrow. You guys need to be safe if you guys are heading out doing any kind of chasing. And those of you that are down in the Springfield area, I encourage you guys to follow 417 Chasers, Matt Jones. Anybody up in the Kansas City, Northeast Kansas, Eastern Kansas, Jeff Smith. I tell you, he's getting his car all rigged up. It's looking good. I'm excited to see what he can produce this storm season. Of course, Isaac and Levy with Nader Boys. I'm more familiar with them. I have rode along with them. We did a podcast here last week where we talked about And for Matt and Jeff, you guys need to pay attention to this because we talked for about 45 minutes last week, and we came to find out the number one thing you guys have to have in your chase vehicles: snacks. You have. We thank you guys all for jumping on here. We're going to try to do this whenever we see the potential for an outbreak here in West Central, Southwest, Northeast Kansas. We've got this whole section covered by this team, and I'm excited. So make sure you guys go follow their pages. Again, all the links I will put on this video there under the comments to make sure you guys can go and follow and like their page. So that's all I've got for today, guys. Isaac, Matt, Jeff, thank you guys so much for joining today, and hope we can do it again.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, thanks.
You bet.
Great.
Take care, guys. And
Appreciate
thank
it.
you guys for watching.